Wada, let's shift gears to ICC. There's a number of developments also from the Ebay story, but let's begin with today. The chief prosecutor said to release that redacted or edited version of the evidence that was against the president. There are those that have argued that this is a small win for the chief prosecutor in that she still has, a chance to give her side of the story. Of course, the move was initiated by the victim's lawyer. The argument of the defense was that this will further damage the reputation of the president. It's, evidence and information that will go out there unchallenged because, it's now not a court process. It's just out there for people to read, and one could believe it or not. What do you think about the court allowing for the release of that evidence?
Personally, I think it's a small matter. Some of these things, when they are kept in secret and they are hidden, then it allows each side to bring all sorts of stories about it. Maybe sort of saying this witness was very critical, he was killed. The way I've heard that the witnesses against President Uhuru, there were many and they are all been killed and murdered. If you hear it, you see a horror movie. Yet if you are here in Kenya, there's nothing like that. So some of these things actually, they need to come out. Then you read them, then you see. Then you can see the rumors that were gathered and the lies that Ocampo manufactured to use Matsanga's word, procured. So I don't think the damage is that big. It is only that now we want to take the president as an oak, and anything touching on him, we want to be very sensitive about it.
Which is what Omar was saying in light of even some of those things on online.
No, these other
bad taste towards the
guys in social media. They take their version, but they present it as the truth. That's the difference. They don't say I'm alleging or I suspect or I know or I think. They say, when they talk about corruption, like they saw it being manufactured. So I do not think it is something so serious, that evidence coming up. And you read it and there's nothing much.
Senator, sorry to cut you short, Weda, but Senator, there are those who say that this will give the victims a sense of closure, having this evidence made public, getting to read some of what is alleged to have happened in Naivasha, in Nakuru, and also the fate of some of the witnesses.
In the realm of transitional justice, in the realm of, victims, there is a way in which when you discuss some of the issues, that's why the TR processes, truth, reconciliation, or justice processes, which was not as what we expected in Kenya, it gives you a forum. In fact, I think what the debate, what the interest is once this evidence is out, it will create public interest and there will be a debate and a discussion around it. So victims will be able to see the discussion. It's not as easy as you think. The analysts across the globe, the social justice actors, human rights actors, the international justice mechanism actors will just not let that evidence go. They will critique it. They'll scrutinize it. It will be a whole arena of public debate. And I think that said and done, it will allow a discussion that, as you put it, maybe it can give the victim some level of closure.
Yeah. And
the interest also is, I was told there were 1 or 2 witnesses who withdrew at the last minute, and we had Bensouda's presentation, who now failed to connect. They were supposed to have been in the State House meeting, and then finally they changed their testimony, and on the basis of that testimony now, you could not now connect that official policy. Maybe somebody out there might decide, I will come and connect that. I was there in that meeting. That's the whole, and the matter, as you know, was withdrawn in without prejudice. So if you get in fact, the reason the matter was withdrawn is on account of a withdrawal of a witness, one-star prosecution witness. You might get somebody else who simply says, I want to connect those dots. I was in that meeting. If that's the meeting you're saying planned, was instructive in terms of what happened, or be it the venue, State House, be it Thika Road, wherever it was. Then I am here, And on account of that, I'm presenting myself to be that link so that victims can get justice.
And to revive the whole trial. Ndomo, you agree with the decision of the judges to grant the wish by the victim's lawyer? Because he's fought hard for the victims and perhaps felt, as much as things seem to be crumbling in as far as the case is concerned, that there was still something that he could give them. Does this serve as that one thing that at least they can take home?
Yes, and I think that there's a way in which sometimes judicial processes can seem abstract. So something like this helps bring people back. And so I agree with the Senator in terms of kind of bringing us back to what this really was. You know, sometimes when you discuss the cases, you forget that there was an experience that Kenyans went through, you know, in 2007, 2008. So the value of these sorts of things is to bring us back to the reality, you know. So hearing some of these accounts can help us, and as a country, I think if we were serious, is to sometimes then allow us another moment of reflection and to actually think again about what it is that actually happened. So I think these are small wins, but you know, very useful.
Yeah.
This level of disclosure is useful. Also, again, just for reminding us that this was not, you know, sometimes when you watch, I think you think, okay, this is quite remote and perhaps didn't really happen.
Yeah.
But I think that this perhaps can help bring us back to the reality of what it is that really happened.
Okay.
So small steps, but really useful. And profound, I think.